Hey guys, gals, and morons. Um, this video right here is if you got a stripper pole in your vehicle to pull the roof in, that's not that's not to push the roof up. Guys, the stripper pole is to pull in on the roof. That's to keep the glass from popping out. I see a lot of vehicles with like a ratchet, basically like a damn jack, a ratchet jack, or they're pushing up on the roof. That's not what you want to do. That might stop your noise that you're having, but the goal for the stripper pole is to pull in on the roof. So you're basically taking the brace parts. There's Dorito fingers. I got them all the time. I eat Doritos. I like Doritos I like Doritos and Cheetos. But every time I do a video, that's why I got Dorito fingers. Um, the pole, if it's up like that, you've got to have it hooked to something sturdy in the back or on the floor or whatever. And the goal is to try to pull in. You're not trying to pull. You're not trying to push out. You push out, and your windshield is going to end up on the front of the damn hood. I'm not going to say we're not going to bust a windshield at some point. I'm sure I can do it if I do certain things. But that is pretty much the reason that the nobody car has not blown a windshield out. We're pulling in. Plus, I've told you how many layers of Vibraflex, how much foam, how much uh, glue, how much bracing is in that car. It's absurd. Anybody that has come up to it, and when you're at the show, if it's not painted by then, I don't mind if you come up and knock the hell out of the top of it with your hand. Matter of fact, I'll let you hit it as hard as you want to with your hand. But I'm not responsible for broken bones in your hand. That's just all I'm going to tell you. Guys, you can dance on the motherfucker. You're not going to hurt it. So I want to clear that up. The pole, the stripper pole in the base cars is not to push up. It's to pull down. That's what you're trying to do, is keep the car compressed, not expanded. Does that make sense? So if you're riding around with a jacking the damn roof up, that you're defeating the purpose of what you're trying to do. No, you might keep vibration noise down, but you're not helping yourself any. No. Now if you have a pole pushed up and then you have a brace pulling at the same time, that's different. But you can't do just one and push up on the roof and expect it to work miracles for you, because you're defeating the purpose of what that's trying to really do. Thought I'd clue you in on that. Also, that goes from side to side. If you're pushing out on your car, you're not trying to do that. You're trying to bring it in. That's what you're trying to do. Oh, sometimes I just shake my head. But look, guys, I'm not making fun of you by no means. Everybody doesn't know this shit. No. And you shouldn't. If you haven't been doing this for a long time, I'm not going to ride by and laugh at you. I'm just telling you this kind of thing. I'm going to laugh on the phone right here. I'm going to come up to you and say, hey, dude, I ain't trying to tell you what you do, what you build, but you're doing this the wrong way. And you can either take that as constructive criticism and, call me a motherfucker and I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm trying to help you. It's obvious I know what I'm doing. Okay? So I'm going to go on to this right here. The reason I got this for is because that car, when it gets really hot outside, and I'm talking about 97 to 100 degrees, the top of that car is in 140 degree range, 114. It's going to be anywhere from 114 to 140, the top of that car. I've done it. I've got the heat gun. I carry it everywhere. And when it does that, Vibraflex, I don't care who says it. I argued with people probably 2 years ago. Some moron was telling me that Vibraflex, I didn't put it on right because it shouldn't flex. That's one of them. I just hit fucking delete. First of all, I've done a video where I took my finger and pushed it through Vibraflex to show them in the heat it doesn't do any good. No, it keeps panels from ripping apart as easy and shit like that, but it's not a miracle deadener. No, it's a great deadener, but it does better in the wintertime. In the wintertime, solid. Wintertime, you're not going to tear that shit up. No, it's like concrete. It's badass in the winter. It's badass when it's cold outside. But in the summer, it is no better than any other fucking rubber deadener. Butyl, whatever the fuck you want to call it. No, it ain't. That's why Jerry couldn't ever keep his fucking doors together. It doesn't matter. That was my shit. The stuff in his doors, that's my shit that I gave him. So I know what it does. Yeah, that's where the shit come from. You're talking to him right here, or listening to me. All right, so this right here, so Vibraflex is not the key to keeping everything together. You have to do a lot of, if we had to do this again, I would do some steel reinforcements in the roof. But we didn't plan on doing this to this car. This car was just going to be for my son, 16-year-old, ride around the school, bang a little bit, but he just wants to keep getting louder and louder and pushing it, and that's what's happening now. Is it's just not made for that. And then that's why a lot of guys turn into, what do you call it? The extreme class where it doesn't have any seats in it and shit like that. And the windshield's a foot thick and, shit like that. That's what leads to that. Everybody doesn't plan on building an extreme build. They plan on building a loud build. They get louder and louder and louder. And then you end up with an extreme. We're not trying to do that. We're trying to keep the car on the road, drive to some local shows. I'm not trying to drive it 10 hours. We'll drive 8 hours there and back, but we're not trying to do 10-hour one direction. Hell no, I ain't doing that. No. This is to pull the roof in. Now I'm gonna show you what we've been using, something kind of like it. I get out of the fucking box. And this is a deal for this set. I think this set was like $19 or something. We've been using one about this size to tighten the bar in the car. That way you don't, and I'm using what's called a nylon rubber. This is a strap wrench. And you wrap this around the stripper pole, and then it's basically like it uses its own. Basically, it's like tying itself up, kind of like putting a lasso around you. That's what it's doing. It's taking that strap, wrapping it around, and it tightens up on itself. And when it does, you can use this as leverage to turn that bar. And you're not tearing up we don't use paint. I've done that before. Paint doesn't work good. We use powder coating. So, but what you would do is basically you have this, you push that in and you run this through the hole. And when you go to turn on it, you're not tearing the actual bar up as you turn, because the rubber's staying together right here. It's rubber on rubber turning. Now, sometimes if it gets near this plastic, I'll put another piece of rubber, like just a piece of a cut hose, and stick it right here, and that way it's all rubber wrapped around that bar as I turn it. Now this is a big boy wrench. This is a lot bigger. We're gonna have a lot more pulling force, a lot bigger strap. This is what we're gonna use this time. That's pretty good size, guys. That's probably 8 or 9 inches long. Very thick. And this is gonna have a lot of force turning that bar. And then once you get the bar turned and tightened, then I'm using like 2 foot long adjustable wrenches, guys, and I'm talking big shit, like you use on heavy equipment. No baby stuff. These go up to like 2-inch, 3-inch fucking bolts. These are big ass damn wrenches that we're using, and if it gets hot outside, that roof will give. So the best time to do it is when it's not extremely hot outside, but a little warm, so that Vibraflex is flexible, and then I can pull down on it, and then when it gets cold outside, it's going to be real tight. Yeah, because everything starts to shrink up. You would think it would get looser. No, it'll be tight as hell. It'll be so tight that you have to take the bolts out of the bar on the ends to get them off, and have to use a punch, because it will literally bind itself. I'm using a chromoly. It's basically track bars for a race car. Yeah. So if you want to get you some bigger straps, this is a good deal. Start off with the little one. You might get by with that, and it do just fine. The smaller one worked good for us for a while, but it started tearing, so I ended up getting another one. Plus, hell, this is 2 for 1 basically. And I got the bigger one. This is a lot thicker and should do a lot better job. All right, on with something else. I had watched a video with my guy 74 Midwest Bass. What's up, man? He had done a EL Customs battery block that goes up on the battery. Now the one he's using is great, but I want to tell you, do not use the EL Customs that goes on the post. No, hell no. Not the one that clamps like this kind of post, a top post battery. You will beat yourself up using one of them. Me, Pete, Harold, and Shannon Davis. Shannon Davis is a fucking genius in race cars and all kinds of shit. He makes components that goes in race cars that's $2 and $3 grand that every badass racer runs. This is a fucking genius. We all have tried to work on that EL Customs. I've got the 6 connection battery post type EL Customs in Pete's 2-runner. Guys, we have tried everything that you can think of between 3 very smart guys to make those things stay tight to the post. Impossible. We have ground on them. We have tried different bolts. We've retapped everything. We have put pins through it. It doesn't make a shit. They all come loose. Yes. So bad that Pete called me the other day. He's like, man, you ain't gonna believe this shit. He said, me and Shannon's down here now and this shit's come apart again. I said, man, fuck them things. I'll use them somewhere else or something. I could use them in nobody because I don't use any kind of post up front. I can use them as a battery delete. I said, just don't worry about them. I'll order something different. So I got these because these things were cheap as hell, and I wanted to see how this actually worked before I ordered a different set. So I got another set on the way that's bigger. This is a small set that was cheap, and then I got another set that was like $40 that's going to be bigger. Now, for your everyday driver type thing, for somebody with a little let me get them open right quick. Somebody's got a little street machine and they don't have one aught or anything like that. This is perfect for somebody on the street. Basically, when I mean on the street, just a daily sound system. This thing's pretty damn cool, and the reason I like this little deal is because if you have a rollover in your car and you're okay and the car starts burning and shit like you're fixing to, this could probably save you, man, if you could get the hood open. What this actually does is, this would be good for, see, you run your battery wire in here. So it'd be like a 4 gauge or something. And you can go up to, say, you can go up to 1/0 here on this part. But then it allows you other places to run ring terminals. And you can even run ring terminals on these. So you can run up to 4 ring terminals. But when you get real big ring terminals like what Pete's using and we're using in Nobody, those are about an inch, you know, say 3/4 inch wide. That's not going to fit in here. So this would be good for like 8 gauge terminals or 4 gauge. But what I like about this is you use this little deal. This is tight. This is going to tighten up the actual bracket to the post, right? And you turn it by hand, and when you get it snug, this thing right here, you're going to take this right here, you're going to start out this way. Let me see if I can get it where it was. So you're going to start out like this, and it's going to be loose. When you start tightening that up, you then take this and push it this way. It'd actually be this way like that. You pull it in, and as you pull it in, you see how it gets thicker right here. As you pull that in, that starts to tighten up. I'm gonna loosen it up so I don't bend them. This starts to tighten up like that, and that'll push this in. When it pushes that in, this will stay on. If you ever had gotten to like an accident or you had something burning and you couldn't figure out where it's coming from, to kill the whole system, just pull that loose and it's going to pop right off. Yeah, it'll come right off. You just flip those. These are anodized aluminum, so you just take that and go flip, and it'll pop right up, and you ain't got to worry about having to get out there and cut wires and unscrew shit. This is a quick release. This is a quick release battery connection. Now the one I got Pete, I've ordered one more of these because I do like these, and these would be great for your everyday little sound system. These would be killer. But for Pete's, I got the bigger one, and it's got a longer handle. And like I said, it was about $40, I think. We're going to try that one. I'm going to see how much bigger it is. It should be good size bigger than this. And we'll be able to use a quick release because he needs one in that thing anyway because he races it. It's got a sound system in it. He's got a lot of electrical components in it. And at any time, something could spark or catch fire or whatever. And all he has to do is go to the back, flip it open, and take it off. Yeah, I mean, you might get burned if it's been scalding hot, but it's better to get burned a little bit than to burn your whole car down. So, thought I'd show these to you. These are pretty cool. These are not but $6 on Amazon. Well worth the money. They come with an Allen wrench to tighten these up. And this also comes from Amazon. Great little ratchet or strap wrenches. They work really good. I just had the smaller one. It's just not big enough for what we're trying to do. You guys take care. Have a great day. Thought I'd show you these pieces. They're cool to have, and you might be useful for your little project. See you.